What's up? Just BGP in the house. Yes, I'm at home. Okay, anyway, I got a message from one of my subscribers on my YouTube channel. And the question is, yo, Ralph, you know your new video, Quick Pointers. Has a girl ever ignored you because she thought that you weren't attractive to, I guess, her? Huh? Ignoring. She thought you were not attractive to you. Huh? Anyway, I'm going to think because she thought you were not attractive to her. Okay. So I guess it's a misprint there. Yes. Um, I am not sure how things go because sometimes I see some nice looking Japanese women with some not so attractive guys and stuff like that, and vice versa. I was at Pure one day, and there was this one girl there, and she's used. I see her there, not almost every time I went, but I see her there a lot. And she seemed more or less like more mature, not the little young ones that's bouncing around like, bing, 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 and all that stuff. And she kind of is a little mature, so I'm thinking she was a little older, maybe 20, anywhere between 27 and 33 or 34, something like that. So she was in the pool room and she was sitting. She was looking nice. So I walked over to her and they got this window or something. So I was talking to her through the window and I said, "How you doing?" She was like, "I'm fine." And a lot of girls do speak English and um, don't think, for instance, that they don't. Or, when you're speaking in English, be well aware that there's someone around who probably understands exactly every word you're speaking. So we was talking, about a couple of minutes. So I said, "Hey, let me get your number." And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, why?" And she just said, "Oh, because at this moment, I'm only interested in white guys." And I was not offended. I laughed. I thought it was funny because um, it wasn't actually. I didn't think it was funny. I thought she was really cool because she said at this moment, which means that I guess she's on a mission on things like that. But there are other times when I'll talk to women, and um, of course I know that they don't think I'm attractive because it's just the way I dress. I mean, look at my hair. You know what I'm saying? And I don't wear those big old glasses that make you look like a bug and stuff like that. And my clothes, Ralph Lauren, this stuff is expensive out here in Japan, but I got jeans on. I think they're Ralph Lauren rugby jeans and stuff like that. But I don't try to dress all flashy and stuff like that. And then plus I tell all these women my age anyway. So I'm talking to people, and it's basically just networking. But I'll walk up and let's say I'll talk to someone. She might be 25 or 26. Say, "How you doing?" Whatever. You might have a good conversation and stuff like that. And she might be feeling me or whatever. And what I mean by feeling me is not like any sexual thing or anything like that. Just want to be good friends. And then all of a sudden I'm saying like, "Okay, bam." She's like, "Oh, how old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 49." And she's like, "Oh, whoa, daddy." I get that a lot, right? So then she's like, "Okay." Sometimes change info or not. I mean, I have my line, and I have about, I don't know how many numbers I have in here. I have, let's see if I could, yeah, I got like 435 friends, which isn't a lot because I met this one guy. I was meeting some friends who was at this liquor store, and it was these kids, because kids hang out there all night, just like the neighborhoods, people hang out in front of, like, liquor stores and stuff. Out here in Japan, they do that too with the convenience store. Almost every convenience store you see in the city, if it has a parking lot at night, 2, 3 in the morning, 1, 2 in the morning, you got these kids out there on their bikes or, different things like that. So we were talking, and then I pulled up, and we always go to this one place, and because I would go see if my friends are there and stuff, and these kids were there, and every time I see them, I'm like, "What are you guys doing out so late? You should be at home sleeping or studying or something like that." And they all start laughing and stuff. And I guess some girls came out and they were looking, so I just said hi and started talking and stuff. And then one of the boys, he came over to me. He was in, I'm sure he definitely was in junior high school, and um, and he was like, "Wow, you like talking to girls?" I'm like, "Well, I talk to anybody. It doesn't matter." And he was like, "Oh, nampa nampa," and I'm like, I said, "I really don't know what nampa really is. I know in the States, we just talk to women just to talk to women. Well, at least I do. I don't try to get anything." And he was like, "Okay," and he said, "Oh, what did he say?" He said, um, I guess we must have talked about information or something. And he said, "Yeah, I talked to a lot of women too." Dude pulled out his line and showed his contacts. I think he had like 700 or anywhere between 700 or 1400. I forget what it was. I was like, wow, I'm like, you're a young kid and you got all those, those numbers and stuff and contacts. I don't know if they're all girls, but that's what he was saying. Pretty much most of them were girls and stuff. And I was like, okay, it's cool because here in Japan though too, a lot of people do socialize, and if they're out there doing things like that, I'm not sure what they're doing, but I do know as they get older, not all of them, but quite a bit of them, their drive as far as um, and sex drives and stuff really seem to slow down. I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, it was yeah, I get that a lot. So what I do is I don't really try to talk to these girls to try to sleep with them or stuff like that. Like I said, I'm just out here for networking and having fun. Because sometimes um, you hanging out with these women and stuff is boring. I mean, you better off at home playing a video game or I'm sorry, how you did the buttons, and sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's cool though too. It depends on the type of person you are and stuff. But yeah, I talk to some women and I get. Well, I don't like to use the word turned down because that's not exactly what it is. I like what that lady said before. She said at this time, I'm not interested. And at that time, they're not interested. A lot of them they're busy and they got other things to do and things like that. And now I have been approached, by a lot of women and stuff like that. That's kind of normal. But and if you want to include, and just so I don't sound so exalting myself or something like that, even when a woman looks at you, that's a sign too. So everybody has get that. All guys get that. All women get that. So anyway, yeah, I get turned down. I don't get turned down. I mean, girls do say that I'm not attracted to them and things like that, and I laugh, because um, I don't want to. I don't want a woman to be with me because I'm attractive. I want someone to be with me or be socialized with me because I'm interesting, and have something to share and things like that. I'm not really good as an entertainer. Um, or at least I don't believe I am. A lot of people do think a lot of things I say is funny, but I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. If you think it's funny, fine, go ahead and laugh. But it doesn't bother me, it really doesn't. And I think it's just my whole attitude. When I talk to women, I don't talk to them trying to sleep with them and things like that. Just talking and having fun and stuff like that. And it's plus my Mac game as far as trying to get a girl to um, sleep with me and stuff like that. It's bleh, like that one girl said to the guy, Marina. No, he told me said to the one Japanese guy, good, something like that. It was funny. And yeah, my game is terrible. When I have to actively think about it, walk over to this girl and say, okay, what's your name and are you busy and stuff like that. It has to just flow out. It just has to naturally flow out. And when it naturally flows out, it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. The other day I was with some friends in Osaka and we were walking and I saw this girl. She was shorter than I was, but she was fine and stuff. So I walked over and said, "Hey, how you doing?" No, I think we were walking, and I think we kind of caught up to her and was passing her. I just turned back and looked, and So I said, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm fine. I'm like, where you going? She's like, oh, I'm going to see my friends and stuff, you know. And I'm like, okay. And I said, hey, can we blah 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 blah, you know? And she was like, okay. So she was going to give me her information, but the phone call, so she said, hold on. So I said, okay. Then look up and see my homie I haven't seen in a long time. So he walked by and I just started talking to him and I just totally forget about this girl. I just totally, it just right out of my mind. And so we're talking about like 3 minutes later, I realized, oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. And I looked around, she was gone, you know. And then my friends were like, oh, you stupid, you stupid. I'm like, it's cool, you know, because I, I don't know. I don't, it's nothing that I pursue, but I do love talking to women and it has nothing to sexually do, but it's just to get, I mean, you know, it's the male female, what is it called? The male female interaction and a lot of things that they know, and it's a lot of networking and things like that too. Actually, I wrote this book about, um, how to do business and how to be a player and do and get rich and doing it legally. And somebody titled it "The Hard Japanese Girls, the Hard Stone Truth" or something. I forget the name of the title and stuff. But it was just something. Actually, it wasn't even a book. It was actually what it was what it is a it was just a response to a friend, and so I just sent it to someone else, and they just whipped it up, and everything was real cool the way they did it. But yeah, I get those a lot, but it's all cool because it's just that timing. And plus, I understand in Japan, you know, someone can walk up to you and I mean you walk up to someone and say, hey, let's chat, and they're like, no, and then you meet them the next week and they're like, okay. And that happened, I think I seen another video, it happened to a friend too. I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of my homies, I'm not sure. But we were walking and there was these other two brothers from Oakland, and they come out here a lot. And I think one guy's John, I can't think of the other guy. And remember the video I made when I was saying how I met them two girls, and they were like, one was like real yoked, and they was all talking about blood, 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 and stuff like that, which is funny because I haven't heard. You've been under the set and you hear it again, you're like, okay, you know. But I think it was that same day actually, and one of the guys that was with us, he was saw some Japanese girl. She was fine too, with some Japanese guy, and he was like, yeah, that girl, you know, call her names, whatever, whatever. And I talked to her, and she never called me back or whatever. And as soon as she was walking towards us, and she walked and looked, and she saw him and go, hey, I remember you, just like that. She said, hey, I remember you. You retraded numbers or something like that. And he said, yeah, you never called. She said, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy and everything, but you know, I got time now. Let's da 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 da. And the dude was like, was that your boyfriend? She like, no, that's my friend. The dude started laughing. No, 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 we just hang out and stuff like that. So while he was talking to the girl and stuff, and me and the other guys were chatting with a Japanese guy and stuff like that. And it was just funny, and that's how it is. That's why I said, you know, you come out here or probably anywhere in the world, you know, when if a girl said no, just you know, keep on going. But especially in Japan, when a woman says no, I think the best response for you guys who have a really soft heart is just to say, hey, you know, we're on to bad timing. That's it. That's what I say.